So, all right. Dun, 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 dun. All right, now this is my second live stream about this subject of the flat earther. So I have something about this thing that they think is flat. Now, we can have a conversation about possibly maybe it maybe they some of the measurements of the diameter are wrong. Maybe. Or maybe you could go find the scientists who've already figured it out for real, and then just that way. I mean, the real scientists that have debates about like the cosmos and stuff like that, to most normal human beings is obvious since we were children. You can look up and see the infinite space above your head. And it doesn't look like a dome. It looks like you're staring out into infinity. You go outside, there's no piece of glass up there holding all the oxygen in. There's an atmosphere on our planet, which we've studied well. We know how the cloud structure works and how clouds move all around the planet in a global, like it's on a globe. I hate to tell you, you flat earthers, that it's a globe. I want to get into a lot of other subjects about other things that are going on, but this is the funniest gosh darn thing to me that I think I ever heard, and it's so easy to rip any of these. I've tried to humor the whole thing. I can't watch Flat Earth Dave for 2 seconds without getting, a little bit nauseous. It might be because he makes me chain smoke cigarettes because he's so freaking silly. I can't stand it. And now he got my twin brother convinced that, the earth's now flat. That's like saying that the air is wet, water's dry, sky is green, grass is blue. It's an inverted reality. It's now the earth's flat because of a freaking logo. That topographical map, like the round map. I don't know what they exactly call that. I'm sure there's a word for it. It's a way to render a three-dimensional object flat. It distorts and then it becomes flat. And if you round it, if you attached all those things and distorted it back together, you'd have your freaking globe again. And then astronomy, and we know all this stuff. There's been people measuring like the solstices and all that kind of. I'm not real big into astronomy in this, but a lot of these things in Egypt and things line up, or even Stonehenge lines up perfect to the equinox and the shortest day in the winter solstice and the summer solstice and blah, blah, blah. It goes back to pagan times because that meant you're either going to eat that winter or that summer or not. Tells you when you're going to plant your foods, how the animals are going to be doing, what you need to do to prepare. It's going to get cold. Get firewood, regular shit that people 50, 100 years ago used to know how to fucking do. Within 1 generation, maybe 1.5 generations, 1 generation, 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 1.5 generations, 1 all the knowledge and wisdom's been lost. And now you got grown up in my generation telling people they think that the earth is flat. Now, there are people with telescopes that don't work for NASA. There are people with high powered cameras that don't work for NASA. And they're taking pictures of these planets that we call, and they're not floating around underneath of a dome very close to us. Neither is the sun. And if you understand anything about optics, if you are a photographer, you should understand lens optics and lens distortion. And if you've used a projector in middle school for a presentation, you can understand the optics of a lens and projecting light somewhere. And the light distorts. So if you're beaming light down through a dome or a sphere, an atmosphere, why do they call it an atmosphere? Because it's a fucking sphere. Because it's round. If you're beaming light through there and you see the sun shining and it's being diffracted like a prism, it's because it is going through a prism. There's so many, the arguments that people make are so ridiculous. And it always ends up as, oh, like I forget how they always end it off, but it's always they get schooled, they get taken to school, and they always end up like crybabies. And they can never explain, they have no logic. And when you explain to them, like, go outside, look up, get a one-way ticket halfway across the world, and you're going to tell me you're on the same dome? That's a big ass dome. It's so big, it's a globe. Get it? Do you? And my brother tries to sit there and tell me that, oh, I just call him stupid because I believe he is. Anybody who believes this garbage is full of junk, man. And they're going to try and convince you this garbage. You can tell them where to go and what to do. And the whole argument against, oh, NASA lied. So what? NASA lied about the moon landing? Are they lying about the UFOs too? Or are they lying about the lie? That's what you got to figure that out. They could have had it planned because they might have saw something they didn't want to see and told fucking what's his name to say, don't ever tell nobody what we saw up there. And they could have been come back. They could have left some people out there. They might have people already up there on bases. They might have people on Mars on bases. It might have been going on for 1,000 years, thousands of years. There might be our ancient ancestors floating around on that Nibiru coming around in 15,000 years, and they might come on back. That maybe I can give you a stretch. If you want to theorize, that's fine, but that the earth is flat, how do you explain where does the water go once it reaches the bottom of the ocean? It floats down into the outer space, or is there no such thing as outer space? Outer space is a lie. And so is gravity. And so we see all the other celestial objects and they are spherical in shape. And we can look at them with telescopes and see they rotate on an axis around the sun. You can measure it. Now, they have some pretty fancy tools I don't have. But if I did and I knew how to use them, I'm sure I could come up with the same measurement. It's not a fucking argument. the if you say the Earth's flat, then the moon's flat now too, and all the other planets are flat, and so the sun is flat too. So if I look at you, are you flat? No. I can walk around you and you're not flat. I mean, I look at you, you look flat until I walk around you, and then I see, oh, you're round. From one point of view, flat. But if you turn around and see, oh well, he's 3D. You got length, width, height. Like, get real, people. You can't be that dumb and quit spreading this stupidity. You're doing it for clickbait. You're doing it and you think you're just cool. You're going to the Flat Earth Conference. You people are so ill. You need to get your freaking head checked out. I mean, you really can't be that dumb. Sorry. But yeah. That's the earth is round is the point. And if you're too stupid to walk outside and go to the lake or whatever you get, or go on a mountaintop, or go skydive, or go on an airplane. Another one is, oh, I've been on an airplane and I can't see the curves. Then you're blind. And you definitely can't see the end of the earth. I've been on a plane for 8 hours. I looked out. You can see the curvature of the planet. Unless you're fucking hallucinating, which seems to be the case for most of these flat earth freaks. That's what I say. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Flat earth crackheads.